So this is a question, well, not I get asked all the time, but I've been meaning to sort of answer on this podcast for a very long time. And something happened recently, which I thought would be a perfect fit to record an episode about. And that is conferences. We're not talking about networking events. I've talked about those in the past. We're talking all about conferences and are they actually worth the investment of going to? Within these conferences, it could be a day conference, it could be two, it could include a mastermind, it could include a party, which is like the best thing about going to conferences, might I add. Um, but it's more about the actual overview arm of the value that you could get out of a conference. I've attended conferences in the past and they've not been as good as the one that we recently went to by one of our partners, White Press. It was in Budapest. The first time I've been to Budapest, I was very hungry, in Hungary. And during that time of going to that conference, it was all about European marketing. So it wasn't really our target audience, if you will. However, what really happened during that event allowed us to network with business owners, fellow SEOs, fellow link builders, people who worked in other agencies. And we went to that conference in October. So it's now December. So October, November, what, 2, 3 months ago? And we have paid that conference back like 3 or 4 times over because we did the right thing when we were there and we spoke to people. So yes, we might be an unfair disadvantage because there was myself and Jake, the power duo, but it worked really, really well. We didn't split up. We just went around together and spoke to people introducing people of people. We knew a lot of the speakers that were there already. So it was sort of a nice little in-game with those, chatting, discussing their talks, etc. And then naturally, over the evening with wine and lots of gin and tonics, it just went into a way that I never thought it would be. It was a case of once we got back from that conference, sending some emails, sending some LinkedIn connection requests. And just by being at that conference for 2 days, we were in Budapest a little bit longer because we like to enjoy some time while at the weekend, for example. So we were there for 2 days. The first day was a boat party, sort of a sit down boat party. And we went out into Budapest afterwards, which was really fun. And we got speaking to some people introducing people to people, met some really great SEOs there, which was so much fun. And then the second day was all of your talks with an after party as well. A full on day with loads of talks, but a lot of information that we sort of took away and started implementing things pretty much straight away within the agency. So just by going to that event for 2 days, it cost a good amount of money to go there. Obviously not as expensive. It was Europe. And, it's not like we're going to America or anything like that. But the value of what we paid out, flights, accommodation, food and stuff while we were there, was so worth it. And I think it was because there's a lot of people there. And I didn't think we'd get anything from it because it was purely a European conference. And it was like purely about the EU market, which we do serve clients within that market. And we do have clients in Europe that we serve and do multiple different things with. But it's not like our main, obviously the UK is our focus. We have clients in the States and in Europe as well. But I just went with very open eyes. I'm like, I've been to conferences, networking events before. It's not going to work. And my biggest piece of advice for 2024 is go to as many conferences as possible. You don't need to do a stand or anything like that. Just go as an attendee. You've got Brighton SEO happening in April. You've got loads of different ones across the UK, in Manchester, Birmingham, London. You've also got some going into Europe, Cyprus, Poland, France, Germany. You've got ones in Dubai and things like that. There's loads of different ones that you can go to, whether you're a brand, whether you are an SEO, an agency owner, an account manager, because the connections that you'll make there, and they'll always remember you if you buy them a drink or things like that. But just don't be too pushy because there's a lot of people while we were there that were like literally drooling over the speakers and like just being a bit weird and slightly stalkerish, which I really wouldn't recommend. Recommend. But by building those relationships, connecting with people, adding people on LinkedIn, dropping them a message and say it was really great to chat to you. I loved having a gin with you, something like that. Just building up those connections and rapport because people will remember you. You can then jump in and have a conversation. And then the next time someone needs one of those things, they will come to you, just like what we did. Some people that were there, we got in touch afterwards and said, if you need anything with marketing, just give me a shout. 2 days later, Tom, we've got this campaign and we'd really like you to work on it. And since then, we've worked on 4 projects together um, in the space of 3 months. So most definitely worth it, and something I would advise anyone to do in 2024. You don't need to go to massive conferences. Go to some smaller ones, find your feet, because it is pretty daunting, especially if you go on your own and don't go with your partner or team, colleagues, things like that. It is going to be daunting because you're meeting strangers. So a lot of these conferences have Facebook groups before, or LinkedIn groups, or they'll have like an email newsletter where you can join a WhatsApp group and then sort of chat to people, make some friends initially. Then when you get there, you can have a chat and sort of fit in. Best advice, grab a drink, grab a glass of wine, grab a gin and tonic, and it just helps ease those little nerves because it is very daunting. Even for someone like me who does this podcast, went to drama school, done talks in front of people. I'm a very introverted person. That's the right word, isn't it? Yeah. Introvert? Yeah, I'm very introverted in a sense. I might not come across it on these podcasts and on my LinkedIn, but in real life, I am. And I do find it hard going up to people and making those conversations. But by stepping yourself out of your comfort zone, and this is something I've always said as well, stepping out of your comfort zone really allows you to sort of work at your best because you're not comfortable. You're not like, oh my God, this is terrifying. I'm going to die. It's just in that slightly, a little bit out the comfort zone where I find I perform best. So next year, look at some conferences. There are loads of websites out there. If you type in SEO conferences, digital marketing conferences, go experience them, make some connections, because I promise you it's going to be one of the best business decisions that you do by finding good quality conferences where you can make connections, maybe get some clients, maybe learn some new stuff and start implementing it in your business. And it is going to be awesome. Hope this has helped. If it has, please leave a review if you're watching this, listening to this on Spotify or your favorite podcasting platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a review, turn on video notifications. Every week I'm here without fail. We're getting very close to Christmas and I'm so excited. Stay awesome, stay safe, but most importantly, stay nerdy.